Well, good day, everybody. I'm Russ Reed, and I'm a co-PI of Innovate Bio, which is the National Center for Biotechnology Education. And with me today is our co-PI on Goal 3, Tom from Madison College. Tom Tubon, how are you?
Great, thanks, Russ. It's good to be back.
Tom, you're not actually in Madison today, are you?
No, I'm in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Doing a site visit. Wonderful. And with us as well is Sean Killebrew. Sean, how you doing?
Doing well, Russ. Good to see you.
And with us, it's just a pleasure again to have Dr. Mary Russell from Cook Medical with us, who's Director of Training at Cook Medical. Mary, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks, Russ.
Mary, we have an important assignment for you today to help us with our Leadership Institute participants, and that is we want to talk about the DISC profile, the DISC profile.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a major component in the Leadership Institute in the sense that, we want our participants to take the Leadership DISC profile, and at the same time, once they understand their style of leadership, we would like them to implement that in the project that they'll do in the interval between the time that they have finished the first part of the Leadership Institute going into the practical use of it when they return back to their campuses and are able to apply what they've learned. So this is a very, very important video that we're doing today. So if I might start, Tom and I are just going to alternate questions, and I'll ask you the first question, and I'll say, tell us a little bit about this Leadership DISC profile. Is it a test?
No, it's not a test. It's a self-assessment, Russ. And with the self-assessment, the results would provide a simple process to help leaders reflect on how they approach the most fundamental work of leaders, which is creating a vision, and also building alignment around that vision, and then championing the execution of that vision.
Excellent. So I'm going to turn it over to Tom now, and Tom's got another follow-up question for you with respect to the profile.
Thanks, Russ. Mary, it's great to have you back. What should one expect to do when taking the DISC profile?
Well, the first thing they will do is they will click on a link that they will receive through their email that will take them to the DISC assessment. And the link, they have a week to complete the DISC assessment, and they can plan for 20 to 30 minutes to complete it. And when it's completed, as they complete it, they need to think about work. They need to think about work situations as they're responding to the assessment. And they will not receive their report right away. The report will go to the people who are going to administer the coaching part of the program, and then they will receive it at the time that they have the coaching. And also they will receive a doodle poll so that they can identify the dates that they're available.
Thanks, Mary. I'm going to bounce this one right back to Russ.
Mary, the people that you spoke about are at Foresight Tech and work with me, and they're in the business and industry division of Foresight Tech. They are very, very, very good people. One of them is Rob Henshaw, and the other is Carolyn Couch. So they'll follow up with our participants and help them interpret the results. So thanks for enlightening us on that. So Tom, I'm going to just switch it back to you.
Thanks, Russ. Well, one of the things that we're hoping we can produce from the DISC profile is an actionable point for our participants. And what we would like to see happen is for our participants to take what they've learned from the DISC profile and apply it to a question or an issue that you all will encounter in your home institutions. Use your strengths and what you discover about your leadership potential through that DISC profile to really help address and find strategic solutions. So when we meet back in June 22, what we're hoping to do is that we're hoping to hear back with a report about how you've applied some of this information that you've recovered from the DiSC profile, and how this may have helped resolve situations, or in your strategic approach to essentially deal with anything that you encounter in the workplace. Because that's really the true measure of what we would like to see in action. So, yeah, I think that this is going to be a great opportunity to apply the knowledge that we gain here, and let you explore how that can best be used in your institution. So, Russ, I'm going to hand it right back to you.
Well, Mary, I want to thank you thank you today for coming on. I know that we've worked you pretty hard in the Leadership Institute and doing some other events for us, but we're always so grateful for your help and your time. Is there anything else, Mary, just top of mind that you're thinking about as you have this opportunity to speak to the participants with respect to taking the DiSC?
Yes, it's important for the participants to understand that there's no right style or wrong style. We actually blend, the styles blend in some way. There are priorities, there are 8 priorities in each style, and priorities are just those things that we put our energy toward. And so there are 8 priorities. So each style has 2, 3 priorities that are attached to them that shares with them the type energy that they would prefer to use. And we're talking about this as it pertains to creating a vision, building alignment around the vision, and championing and executing the vision. It's important for them to know not a right or wrong answer. They need to think about the workplace the relationship, and understand that it's about developing. All the different styles are needed, and it's about, as a leader, understanding the situation when we might need to use more energy in a particular step as it pertains to the vision.
Well, thank you, Mary. That's great advice. And even us folks, after we've been in the workplace for such a long time, and all of a sudden somebody said you're going to take an assessment, the first reaction is, oh gosh. But this is actually a very helpful assessment, isn't
Yes, it's very, very helpful. It's very helpful because whenever we each, with our different leadership styles, we have priority areas where we prefer to put our energy in. And let's take, for example, when we're creating a vision. Creating a vision requires us to be bold when we're thinking about what are we going to do, what some concepts of what ideas do we have as pertains to the vision. It requires us to be able to be open to listening to other people's suggestions. It requires us to think big picture. And there's some styles that lend the energy to those things, and there's some styles that don't quite lend it to being the big visionary in the sense of looking at the big picture. So it's about looking at your DiSC results and where you're plotted on that continuum, and asking yourself, if this part of the process, do I need to engage with more energy, or am I where I need to be?
Perfect. Tom, any other last comments from yourself?
No, I'm looking forward to this experience. For one, I'm excited too, because I'd like to participate in the DiSC assessment as well. And I'm certain I'm going to discover a lot more that has yet to be found. So, thank you, Mary. I appreciate your involvement and your leadership with this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, and Sean. Thank you.